In a world full of noise, two voices rise above the chaos. Ron and Brian. They speak truth. They stir thought. They accidentally help. News, nonsense, and necessary self-care. Join the cult of Ron and Brian. Because the work is so important.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is yet another Sunday night. It is 8 o'clock, and it is time for the latest episode of the Cult of Ron and Brian podcast. Happy, as always, to be with you here. Brian, how the hell are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. It is Sunday night. It is again, an end of a beautiful weekend, but at the same time, the start to another incredible week. I'm excited to be here with you. Any opportunity I have to avoid the Sunday scaries by spending it focusing on this show rather than feeling anxiety for the work week,
Sure.
that's a great feeling for me. Are you having problems with your headphones?
I'm wondering if you're
on?
having problems with your microphone. Are you on your regular mic or your computer mic? Because you're sounding a little more hollow than normal.
Let me find out. I'll be right back, Ron.
All right. So, we've been doing this, 873 episodes. The sound thing kind of confusing to Brian every now and then. So we are hopefully going to get his microphone fixed. We're going to get him back in here. We're going to get back on track for this episode of the Cult of Ron and Brian. We appreciate all of your patience while we figure out how to actually do this show. But I guess in the meantime, maybe we just tee things up. We get things ready for when he comes back, and we get it going with our drink of the week.
Drink of the week.
Na zdrowie.
Salud.
Drink of the week.
Sláinte.
Pause.
Drink of the week. Drink of the week. Drink of the week.
All right, Brian, let's hear how you sound right now.
How about now?
Oh, much better. Absolutely better.
It was my internet connection.
Was it?
No, but it's a lot better than saying that I forgot to check to see which microphone I was utilizing for
49% behavior, Brian. No better way to put it.
And would you guys be surprised if I was bringing any other percentage behavior here? Would you?
And that's
I
why.
don't think so. You come to expect it. Oh,
you keep talking about how you're going to take this belt back come February, and you show that you don't deserve it.
It's not a matter of deserving. Oh, that's beautiful. Can you just put it a little bit closer? I want to smell it.
The question becomes, and I know we've discussed this before, do we take some of the Patreon, the merch money, and do we buy an updated title with the new logo on it? Because this is the old logo title belt. It's a question I think we have to put out there.
I would say let's see what the people in the chat have to say. But I have an idea where it goes. But I believe as 51% owner of the show, I'm not sure that you need anyone else's permission or approval. I believe that this is something you can do on your own.
Because I think, it's a positive thought in a couple of ways. Number one, I can be Ronnie Two Belts with a title belt over each shoulder after this February. But how much our wives hate just the one title belt. Imagine the hate in their hearts if we had two title belts in our home.
See, I disagree. Well, I mean, really? First off, you will have two belts, but I believe that what's happening, just like, in the WWE, when there's a new champion, the old belt gets retired. I think that the Ron and Brian title belt gets retired with you as the owner of it.
Okay,
and then what's up for grabs is the Cult of Ron and Brian title.
Interesting. Okay.
I think, to me, that is the only way to play this. I don't think that we can, ship two belts back and forth. I believe the Ron and Brian podcast that died. It expired.
Well, it didn't die. It moved on. It morphed. It like a phoenix from the flames rose back into what we now know today is the cult of Ron and Brian. But I like where your head's at. This
It
is actually
put
a very that you're so wise right
You like
now.
it. 51% behavior.
Right now. Seriously.
And that's why I think to me we do upgrade,
To me,
maybe slightly larger.
okay.
I don't know if that's possible. If I know that you've got your title belt guy that you work with.
Right.
I don't know if he's willing to expand the size of it, but I believe that just like the cult of Ron and Brian is bigger, badder, more aggressive. I believe we need to bring that same energy to the new title belt.
I understand. All right. Well, I'll do some research and we'll talk about this offline. But more importantly, Brian, what are you drinking tonight?
Okay. I rarely do a redo. I rarely put that belt away. I rarely no, you can keep rolling in. I rarely go back to a beer that I had before and did not like. But which is why this week I'm going back to a beer that I really did like. Our good friends over at Four Quarters Brewing in Winooski, Vermont, brought us this Dollar Pills. Yeah. I liked it so much. I sent them a video of the podcast, Drink of the Week, but they sent me another 4-pack. And the only way to thank them is to once again look at this.
That is a great glass. If you haven't purchased your new pint glass or frosted pint glass yet, don't forget to go to cultofronandbrian.myshopify.com. That's the new web store, folks. Check it out, and you can get a glass just like Brian is holding right there.
It even says drink of the week. I mean, so classy. So this is Dollar Pills. We spoke about it earlier in episode 367. German Pilsner. This is a 5.7 ABV. Beer Advocate scores it an 88, which is very good. This here on Dollar Pills.
There you go. If I remember, you enjoyed that beer immensely the last time you had it. Just look at that. Yeah. I think you just came in your pants right there.
I'm at that age where it doesn't happen spontaneously anymore, but like some white powder just evacuated from my body. Yes, yes. Very good. Ron, what do you have?
Yes. Well, Brian, as we have often said, there's really nothing good about the Garden State, the state in which you reside, New Jersey. But if there is one thing that is awesome about the state of New Jersey, it is Cape May Brewing. I have brought their Mexican coffee stout. This is a stout brewed with coffee and spices. It has a satisfyingly complex grain bill comprised of a variety of different malts, yielding a rich and layered profile with a silky smooth mouthfeel and a firm cocoa-like bitterness. Cocoa-like bitterness, I believe, was your band name in college. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
Anyway, conditioned on fresh and locally roasted coffee, cinnamon, and guajillo peppers. Woof! Mexican coffee stout lands perfectly balanced amongst the coffee, spice, and rich stout base. It is clocking in at a 7.5%. It's stout weather, ladies and gentlemen. We are fully into fall, and it is stout weather in a classic Ron and Brian podcast glass. Let's see how we do here.
That is a beautiful color. I'm expecting high. Oh,
it's delicious. And this, I've had this before. The one thing I love about this, I hate beers that don't provide the flavors that they talk about. Here, you get the coffee, you get the cinnamon, and then you get that little bit of spice from the guajillo peppers at the end. This is a solid beer.
We know that you love spice.
Sure.
You will put pepper on anything. You will put hot sauce on just about anything that crosses. You'll even eat spicy chips while wearing a rubber glove. I mean, that is the level of spice that you. I still have that video. I have that video, and it will be released maybe during the next presidential debate.
During the next debate, I'm looking forward to the debate. We're a few months off from it, but I am already looking forward to it. I hope you will be prepared. I expect you to be crying in a fetal position under your podium as usual.
No, I will be profusely sweating. I mean, last year, remember, I was wearing the suit.
Yeah.
And I just remember Marty, the moderator, really brought it this past year. Just
As she always
brought
does.
it as a moderator. You abused your access to ChatGPT. And between the two of you, I felt the level of collusion was off the charts. I didn't stand a chance.
This is what I don't get. How do I just have access to ChatGPT? It is open source, Brian. There is nothing stopping you from going out there and doing that.
I've asked for the podcast login for our ChatGPT professional account. You won't give it to me. I've asked you on multiple occasions. I have said, listen, the podcast signed up for a professional version of ChatGPT, which gave us an unlimited number of custom photographs. You have clearly taken advantage of that benefit. And when I've asked you for you to share that, you sat there and said, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know that, giving you an unfair advantage. Therefore,
why don't you be a man, Brian? Be a man for once in your life.
Listen, I do what I can.
Listen, I just noticed they've added more sounds to StreamYard here.
Ooh.
That didn't really sound like anything. Oh, there you go. Gunshot.
It's a gun. That was a bullet. That was a bullet hitting the neck, and then the air coming, and then the air leaving the body. That's what that second sound was.
Let's see. This is called Scream Man. What's that sounding like? All right.
Exactly. It sounds like a man screaming. Yeah.
It's good to know that all the money we spend at StreamYard is going into these amazing upgrades that they're doing.
People, when we say join our Patreon, because the money goes back into the show, this is an example of where that money.
About.
Exactly.
Now we can pretend we're shooting somebody in the street. Wait, I think there's even a police siren. I can do like a whole little, like it's radio again. And there comes the police. We're in Kensington, folks.
It sounds like you're playing Grand Theft Auto 6 because that's exactly the behavior that goes on in Grand Theft Auto.
Sure.
Any other things, or is that just a couple new ones?
That's just a couple new ones. We'll play with that more in future episodes. We don't want to shoot our entire load here tonight.
You know who did was Peter North.
That man knew how to shoot some ropes. Anyway, we're getting off track here. We're forgetting that it's time for Beef of the Week.
Ron and Brian's Beef of the Week.
Brian, what's bothering you?
I'm going to tell you what is bothering me right now, this very second.
Good.
So it is not just my beef of the week, the beef of the day. This is my beef right now. And there's a couple things going on. Sure. There's a couple things going on that all lead to this one experience I am having. And it's basically that period of time when you know you're going to have diarrhea. Your body has not given you the urge to expel yet. What it's doing is producing, and I think this is a universal experience. So I think we can all accept.
Like your stomach is making noises like you're boiling quarters. Like you feel it.
I can feel it. I can feel it. I feel the pressure coming at different areas. So I'm assuming that it is just following my intestinal tract. But the worst part is that I am having, for the past, I'm going to say, hour, the most foul-smelling gas that I've had in probably a year. I can't remember the last time I was more embarrassed. These are the moments when you wish you lived alone, because I've gotten up and had to come up with so many different reasons this evening to explain why I had to. The number of times I've had to cut my nails while I'm in the bathroom, just because I don't want this poor lady. She's an angel. She's my queen.
You're still in that first year of marriage. You're still in that honeymoon period.
Ron, we're still in that 1 month of marriage.
Fair.
She doesn't deserve what's going on. So now the problem is that during the show, I'm sitting here and I'm feeling it move. I'm feeling it move. Just gaps. Like there's
Right.
no, I have no urge to go to the bathroom. I haven't gone to the bathroom for 4 days. So also keep in mind, what did I do right before I took the lady over to Ben and Jerry's so we could get some ice cream?
Get some dairy in you.
She's my queen. She was like, I want to, I'm in the mood for something sweet. Ate dinner. She's like, I'm in the mood for something sweet. And I was just like, you know what? Put your shoes on. I'm taking you to Ben and Jerry's. So what did I do? 2 scoops, chocolate chip cookie dough, right there with the vanilla ice cream. So that while all that lactose is just mixing it, it smells terrible. And when I'm done with this show in 45 minutes and I leave this room, heaven forbid she has to get out in here to grab something, because it's now. I think it's in the walls now.
Gonna be peeling off the walls soon.
The couch smell. That is my beef. Is that period of time before it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad, but you're in this moment and it's unavoidable. You just have to sit in it and let your body do the work.
Because the work is so important.
And when your own gas disgusts you, that's when you know it's bad.
It's worse. You do love lactose. Absolutely. Mr. Softy does this. Yes, that's another one. Ooh, I could go for a Mr. Softy.
Ironically, a few people called you Mr. Softy in college. I never remembered why that was, because I don't recall you working in an ice cream parlor.
Rudeness will get you nowhere, Ronald. Ron.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes, my friend.
Ron.
Yes.
What's bothering you?
I gotta be honest, Brian. Gambling is bothering me. You and we love making a nice wager. Our ladies, kind of make fun of us because we don't wager big amounts. We'll wager $2.50, $5, maybe $10 if we're feeling confident. We're not making huge wagers like you'll talk about in your story of the week shortly. But it just feels like, Brian, what do you feel major league pitchers are hired to do? What's one of the main parts of their job?
Get outs.
More specifically, get strikeouts. We love betting a good strikeout wager. And yet so many Major League Baseball pitchers just want to come. And not only that, they'll come 1K short of paying us off. The best is when you get like a good pitcher and then he gives up like 18 runs in the first inning and gets pulled before he can hit it. It's absolutely frustrating. Good question, Brian. Are you wagering $900 on your gambling? $900?
Nope.
That seems to be the magic number for you. But I know it aggravates you as much as it does me. And maybe it's because I've had a bit of a cold streak lately. But that, my friend, is my beef of the week.
Time out there. I don't think you've been on a cold streak. I actually think you've had an incredible 2-week run. The last couple days have not been as good as you were on that run. But I'm going to say this: following your picks and using a few of my own, I think I have increased my. I think I'm up by about $100 over the last 2 weeks. And that's considering most of my bets are in the $2 to $50 to $5 range. Like that, you need to be on quite a hot streak to go up $100, and I'm there.
And that's kind of you to say so. And it's very 49% of you to think that way. Me, I think a little bit more champion-like, and I want to be perfect all the time. Not just for me, Brian, but for you. And people will be surprised. We're always perfect on our lock for the week. It's the other sports that we wager on that can tend to go sideways.
That'll happen.
Yep.
I still believe in you, champ.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. We were mentioning stories of the week. Obviously, we pick these stories each week. We each pick a story that we make sure that we do not miss. Brian, what is your story of the week this week?
Ron, you're a fan of cruises, correct?
Of course.
You love a good cruise. You've said to me that one of the things you like most is when on the cruise is going down to the casino, putting a couple dollars down on the table, on the slot machine. And
There's
just,
no
you know,
rules at the high C, Brian. Just me and the casino.
I have a question. What dollar amount, Ron, would cause you to jump overboard to avoid paying your cruise casino debt?
I mean, I don't know that I would jump overboard. Here's the thing: like, once I lose, like, I typically will set like $100 as my maximum. And
Right.
when I lose that $100, I'm pretty much done for the day. So I don't know if it would be worth jumping over the what do you call that? The railing of the
Railing?
boat just to escape a $100 bet.
Ron, what would you do if your name was Jay Gonzalez Diaz?
I would wonder why I'm so pale and white.
You would also jump over that railing. Do you have a photo of Mr. Gonzalez Diaz?
I have a photo of him escaping his Royal Caribbean cruise on the back of a jet ski after jumping off his cruise ship.
Here is the story, people. A passenger aboard a Royal Caribbean cruise ship tossed himself overboard into the open sea during an alleged attempt to avoid paying a staggering $16,000 gambling debt he racked up over the vacation. Mr. Gonzalez Diaz set sail on the Rhapsody of the Seas for a week-long holiday in which he threw caution to the wind and gambled his heart out. The ship completed its voyage on a Sunday when it pulled into port of San Juan. While the ship was returning to port, Gonzalez Diaz realized his supposed error, which the story does not go into detail as to what the error was, and threw himself into the water as the cruise was disembarking shortly after 9 a.m. Someone passing by on a jet ski, you can see the photo here, was able to help him out of the water and return him safely to shore. Gonzalez Diaz was later tracked down by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers near the Puerto Rico capital. He was apprehended while carrying 2 phones, 5 IDs, and $14,600 in cash. He sounds like OJ in the back of the white Bronco.
Roughly, so wait, he owed $16,000, but he had almost $15,000 in cash on him.
He just didn't want to have to give that up. Wanted to keep it. Some of his dubious identities were Jeremy Diaz and Jeremy Omar Gonzalez Diaz. When pressed, he finally gave his real name and simply said that he leapt overboard because he didn't want to report the currency in his possession because he thought he was going to be taxed on bringing currency into the country. He is currently facing charges of attempting to avoid monetary reporting requirements when traveling into the U.S., and he could face a fine of up to $250,000. Ron, you say something at the end every week when we do our locks of the week, which is bet with your head, not over it. Here's an example of a man who bet over it.
Yeah, and granted, I think if you're bringing over $10,000 into the country, I think you need to claim it. I don't know if they tax you on it, but you do need to mention at customs that you're bringing it in. It's amazing to me the thought process of, oh, I can leap off this cruise ship, get on a jet ski, and no one's ever going to find me. Yeah, it just seems like it's going to end up probably costing him more money than whatever those taxes might have been.
And he's also very fortunate because our current administration seems very keyed up on sending missiles onto boats in the Caribbean right now that are, just moving around. I know the Trump administration saying that these are Venezuelan drug dealers who are sending boats into the United States laden with cocaine. We haven't seen any proof of that, but I just want to, I don't know. I would not get on a boat that's just going around in the Caribbean. It's just not a good time. Why take the risk? Ron, what's your story of the week?
So I think, as you've often said, Brian, we do things a little differently here in Philadelphia and Philadelphia adjacent. This story takes us up to Norristown, PA, where a robbery suspect was hospitalized after being stabbed with a samurai sword during a home invasion robbery. This person in the photo, this is 35-year-old Marcus Armstrong. He attempted to rob a man at gunpoint outside a home in Norristown. A female victim managed to escape inside the residence, where Armstrong allegedly forced his way in and encountered her roommate, who was armed with a samurai sword. Detective Josh Samuels said the roommate defended himself. He had the samurai sword and took a swipe at the suspect. It was a pretty chaotic scene this morning, I would say for sure. Armstrong fled the scene and was later found bleeding heavily, where neighbors witnessed police taking him into custody. Police said the trail of blood helped them piece together the events of the morning, determining the incident was a random crime of opportunity, noting that Armstrong targeted the victims after seeing them exchange money outside. Also sounds a little sketchy when you're exchanging money outside at like 8 in the morning.
Agreed. I think it's one of those things where the cops are just looking the other way. Well, they're looking at the blood trail.
Yes.
They seem less obsessed with the likely drug transaction that took place in front of these people's house, and instead are focusing on the fact that the bad guy got stabbed for once in Philadelphia. Right. Usually it's the good guy. Ron, how do you explain this? Is it true? A lot of people are saying that when you move into the city of Philadelphia or Philadelphia adjacent, you are given a samurai sword for home defense. That a
lot of people don't realize that. And police mentioned that Armstrong's weapon with him was a fake gun. As we have often said on the show, you don't bring a fake gun to a samurai sword fight. He now faces burglary and robbery charges and remains hospitalized as the investigation continues.
Hospitalized? Oh, I love it. Fuck him.
That's got to really make you rethink your life choices when you go and you run into a house and all of a sudden you see a guy with a samurai sword. Like,
well, this sounds exactly like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. I was going to say Pineapple Express, but I knew that wasn't correct.
Which one was Pineapple Express? I don't think I like that movie.
That was the one with Seth Rogen. It's one where Seth Rogen plays a pothead, you know. That narrows it down.
Did you, the Emmys were not that long ago. We never spoke about it.
We did not.
But a lot of shows that we have watched and talked about did very well. I know you were a big fan of The Pit that was on. That won several Emmys as well. I was very surprised. You mentioned Seth Rogen. That show got like 12 Emmys.
Yeah, I mean, he won for what? He won Best Actor in a
It could have been 4. Yeah, I didn't think it was that good of a show.
And again, it was Seth Rogen just playing Seth Rogen. Like, I don't know that it was anything different than how he normally is. But maybe we need to rewatch it. I know Severance won some awards.
Not many.
But yeah, the Pit definitely
got
cleaned
supporting. Up. Did you like The Pit? Did you recommend it?
I love The Pit. I would highly recommend it. Second season comes out in January. I would say it was probably one of the best new shows on TV this past year.
Really? Now, does this have anything to do with the apricot pip that you ate as a child that stayed in your stomach and started to grow and sprout?
I remember that, but no, this is actually about Pittsburgh. It's a hospital in Pittsburgh, hence The Pit.
Yins wants
some coleslaw and fries on your Primanti sandwich. They literally say 5 times an episode just to get the point across.
Have you ever? I'm assuming you have had a Primanti Brothers sandwich.
I have, yes.
Thoughts?
Good, not worth the hype.
Not great. Agreed.
Yeah,
not great. I had one in a Primanti Brothers establishment. I'm going to say probably 15 years ago when I was in Pittsburgh. I don't remember whether it was the turkey or the roast beef, but it was like the classic sandwich. Yeah, it's one of those like when in Rome, like we sat there and asked and said to the waitress, like, what do you what's the what's
good here? What do you recommend?
Big one?
What is everybody?
What's the big sandwich? And I just remember being like, it's a little dry and not really getting what makes this thing so awesome. So I will have to pass on the Primanti brothers.
Yeah. It's one thing, like I got it. The fries were cold. Like the coleslaw was warm, just everything. Listen, I would argue not much compares to like a nice New York deli sandwich or a nice, Philly roast pork sandwich. I mean, cheesesteaks are great. Don't get me wrong. But I think you would have to agree with me. The unsung hero of the Philadelphia sandwich scene is the roast pork sandwich with sharp provolone and broccoli rabe.
It is, but I'm going to tell you something.
All right.
The proliferation of cheesesteak videos that are on my TikTok algorithm, I am dying for a genuine Philly cheesesteak.
Okay. Listen, next time you come down,
next time I come down, I want one because
we'll go down to Reading Terminal. We'll maybe go to South Street. We'll get you some Pats, some Genos.
Ooh, last time we were there, where did we go? We did John's.
We went to Jim's.
Jim's. I was close. I had 1.5.
Yeah.
I had 1.5 cheesesteaks. I remember that. I had one.
I remember that because all the couples split a cheesesteak amongst themselves while you took down one and the second half of your lady's cheesesteak. But listen, if I could tell you the number of times in my youth that I was drunk at 2 a.m. On South Street and ate like 3 or 4 cheesesteaks at Jim's, probably taking years off my life in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. What else do we got?
Let's see, Brian, I'm sure you remember from our days of listening to the Howard Stern show, Rick's Cabaret, the adult entertainment strip clubs. Remember he used to go to Scores and then Ronnie the Limo Driver went and worked for like Rick's Cabaret.
I think I was already out of the show by then. I remember when he was very heavy into the score scene, but I don't remember Rick's Cabaret.
Rick's Cabaret became part of a publicly traded operator company called RCI Hospitality Holdings, and 5 top executives of that company, including its CEO, Eric Langan, have been indicted in connection with a multi-million-dollar criminal tax fraud and bribery scheme. Apparently, they were bribing a New York State Department of Taxation and Finance auditor and supervisor with 13 complimentary multi-day trips to Florida, where he was given up to $5,000 per day for private dances at RCI-owned strip clubs, including Tootsie's Cabaret in Miami.
I remember that.
Miami next month. I might have to.
I've never been there, but I knew that they used to advertise in the newspaper all the time. I can't believe they're still in business.
Well, apparently because they were saving money on their taxes, the New York Attorney General released a press release today saying that, quote, on at least 10 occasions since 2010, Timothy Winata, RCI's controller and accountant, traveled to Manhattan from Texas to provide the auditor with illegal bribes at RCI's 3 Manhattan clubs, Rick's Cabaret, Vivid Cabaret, and Hoops Cabaret and Sports Bar. Those 3 clubs were also indicted in the case. The press release went on to say, after one such trip in February 22, the auditor texted Winata, "This was the best trip I had in Florida. The girls were very beautiful and nice. I hope we can have another trip before the summer." Why do these fucking morons text? Why is there such traceable stuff they do when they're doing illegal shit?
Don't put anything in writing. Don't put anything in writing. When it's the one thing I learned from watching The Wire is the line from Stringer Bell, like, "Are you taking notes on a criminal conspiracy?" And he rips up the guy's paper. Like, you don't put anything down that can be called up in a civil case or a criminal case.
Right.
You just don't.
The alleged bribes helped RCI avoid paying more than $8 million in New York City and state taxes from 2010 through 2024 after the auditor gave them favorable treatment in at least 6 separate sales tax audits. The taxes involved the sale of dance dollars, which customers of the strip clubs bought and redeemed for private dances.
Okay, Ron. I know. I mean, this is all hypothetical. You may want to cut this in post. But like, there is a dollar. Like, we have always preached on this show, don't lie on your taxes.
Right.
It's not worth it. If there's a legal loophole to avoid them, like a 401k or a flex spending account or a 529 for your children, those are okay. Encouraged. That's a reason. Don't give the federal government any more money than you need. We preach this. Every year come February, you like to put on your tax advisor hat, and we have our weekly tax guidance from Ron, the auditor. It's honestly, to me, it's one of my favorite times of the year, other than Hot Podcast or summer. But it is the idea that we've always said, don't lie on your taxes.
Right.
But here's the question is, there's got to be a number in your head that makes you sit there and go, okay, I think I'm going to lie on my taxes.
Well, you're willing to roll the dice for a certain amount.
$8 million that you could hand over to the government, or if you could figure out a way to keep it, how do you, to me, I think I would sit there at 8 million and think to myself, hey, is there another way other than writing that check?
Right.
I don't know the number. I don't know where my number is. But if you're telling me that they avoided $8 million in taxes, which lets you just have an idea of how much in earnings this organization was making as profit.
Because that's sales tax.
Taxes
what is sales tax in New York City?
8.25, 8.75 at most at this point.
So you're talking $20 million in top line sales to avoid. Am I even doing that math right? No, it's like 200.
More.
That 200
it's
million
112. Think about it this way. We'll say it's 1/11th. We'll just call it 9%. So if that 8 is 1/11th, then you're talking $100 million.
You're like Rain Man over there.
Definitely Judge Wapner.
But it's amazing the amount of texting that went back and forth. So the CEO, Langdon, texted their director of operations, quote, "We need to talk about New York and dance dollars," explaining the RCI was going to be hit by $3 million in sales taxes soon. Later that day, Langdon texted his director of operations back saying, "I think I got the sales tax in New York to $350 plus interest possibly." Winata, the guy who they were bribing, is discussing with the auditor tonight. Winky face emoji. It's amazing to me that people can get themselves into a leadership position of a multi-million-dollar company. Again, I get it. They're strip club operators. But these are multi-million. It's a multi-million-dollar company. And these guys don't fucking know not to use text messaging when breaking the law.
Don't they know that that's what WhatsApp's for? Discord? Signal? Telegram?
So RCI shares dropped nearly 17% in trading after the indictment dropped. May want to check. I mean, listen.
Buy the dip.
These guys may be going down, but strip clubs will be around forever. You've got suckers out there willing to stand by ATMs and take out money while strippers rub their back while they sweat profusely on the back of their neck. This stock is going to go back up.
Ron, are you on Nighttime Ballerina TikTok?
Am I on Nighttime Ballerina TikTok?
Yes.
I don't believe I am, no.
Well, if you were, you would know that the early signs of a recession are being widely reported by the Nighttime Ballerinas on TikTok, who are ladies who dance usually during evening hours, have been going online to report that the number of clients in the entertainment establishment are a slim fraction of what it used to be. The number of people going, paying for private dances and whatnot, buying bottles of champagne, like where the real profit margins, the real profit winners are coming from. It is an industry that has always been an indicator of upcoming economic problems. Like when people start to dial back the spending, that industry is one of the first that starts to see the impact of it. because people
Well-
are always going to buy eggs. They're always going to go down to Reading Terminal Market to get a cheesesteak, a hoagie.
A hoagie and water ice.
What they're going, where are they going to stop? Well, when they're at the strip club, they're not going to buy that bottle of champagne during a lap dance. They'll be like, no, I'll keep, I'll nurse this drink. They just saved $400.
Well, and I think you're seeing the tariffs that play there as well. A number of these dancers from the strip clubs are from foreign countries, and they're being tariffed. Their breasts are being tariffed when they come into this country, and the strip clubs are passing that cost along to everyday Americans.
I mean, Trump went into power and he said he was going to make Romania and Bulgaria pay the tariffs for the dancers that were for the talent that was coming into America. He sat there and said that Eastern Europe was going to be paying these tariffs. What has turned out happening? It's been passed down to the consumer.
There you go. Well, let's move on. This is another great story. This is America right here. It's about the boss of IMAX, who allegedly has been partying so hard that his ex-wife cannot get a $4.5 million life insurance policy on him. He has not passed away yet. She's just, I guess, trying to get a policy on him. This in the photo, this is Richard Gelfond. He has headed up the $1.57 billion movie theater company since 2009. And he's used cocaine and engaged in, quote, excessive drinking, causing one insurance company to reject him for a policy, first wife Linda Stein claimed in a lawsuit. At least two other insurance companies also refused to move forward with a policy for Gelfond, 70, according to Stein, who filed the now sealed Manhattan Supreme Court papers last week.
Question: why? First off, commending him. He's in a position of power, and good for him. He seems to be enjoying it. Usually, men who end up in these positions behave poorly. They start to have sex with underlings, subordinates. It's embarrassing. This guy's just going out there and having a good time in his free time.
He's doing a little cocaine. He's doing a little, what else? He's doing a little drinking. I mean, why not?
Why would the ex be trying to get a life insurance policy on him?
So apparently, I wondered that as well. So they had married in 1982. They had two kids before they divorced in 2008. But their divorce agreement required Richard to give her a chunk of any retirement funds he'd receive should he retire from IMAX. But apparently he does not intend to retire anytime soon, having re-upped his contract through the end of 2028. The pair agreed that his ex-wife could take out a life insurance policy on him as an alternative to potential retirement funds. But unfortunately, his voluntary and chronic drinking and drug use has thwarted the effort.
Wow. Do you think he's doing it intentionally to just ensure that she does not get a life insurance policy on him?
I mean, I don't know that he's doing it intentionally, but I don't know that he necessarily has an incentive to stop. If that makes sense.
I'm going to say keep living your life, King.
Exactly. Listen, she wants to change the deal. She wants to change the deal because she agreed to it. He doesn't want to retire. She wants the money now. I don't know. It seems like, I don't want to say it's a frivolous lawsuit, but I can't imagine it going through. I mean, what do I know, though? Brian, your take on this. You are the senior legal correspondent. You are also the cocaine and drinking correspondent for the Cult of Ron and Brian.
It is, listen, he signed the legal agreement, their divorce agreement, which stated that each party was responsible for obtaining life insurance policy on the other as part of the custodial agreement on the children. He then decided after that to go out and live a lifestyle that would ensure that she would not be able to have the protection that if something were to happen to him, she would not be able to provide for the children. I'm going to, as embarrassing as the lawsuit is, and as much as, just I want to sit there and be like, let me live your life for a week, mister. I kind of have to side with the woman here. I'm siding with the ex-wife.
Which is shocking.
I know
You rarely will
you-
side with a woman on this podcast.
you did not have that in your bingo card, correct?
I did not.
Sides
100%
with the
no.
woman in a legal case. I know.
Now, here's another shocking tidbit from the article. IMAX, which we already mentioned, worth $1.57 billion. As CEO, what do you think his annual salary is?
Oh, I'm going to say
Not counting perks, benefits. I'm talking just salary.
100 million.
$1.2 million. Surprisingly low. He's got to have other things coming in. He's got to have stock, or he's cocaine. Maybe they're picking up his coke and drinking bill. Which,
listen, God damn it, how do I have that? How can I get that job? That's 51% energy. That guy's got a gigantic title belt. I know that for a fact. He's got a gigantic title belt.
We got to call him. We got to call him because he clearly has the info we need on where to get the title belt.
And
let's jump down
to him.
Yes. Let's jump down to Texas now, where a woman has been accused of helping her friend dispose of a flight attendant's body after a butt dial voicemail allegedly captured them plotting the cover-up. We've got some legendary mugshots coming up right here. So Joni Thomas on the left there, age 62, has been charged with tampering with evidence in the suspected murder of 47-year-old Rana Nofal Soluri, an Envoy air flight attendant who was last seen alive in March. Thomas is believed to have assisted suspected killer Dennis William Day, who allegedly admitted strangling Soluri to investigators with the disposal of her body. That is Day, age 66 on the right there. Investigators claim that Day called Thomas after murdering Soluri in the kitchen of his Fort Worth home following an argument and had her come over in her pickup truck. The pair then allegedly transported Soluri's body to Bowie, about 70 miles away, and dumped it off a bridge. During the murder investigation, detectives discover what they believe is a butt-dialed voicemail on Thomas's phone that captures her and Day straining to move a heavy object. A male's voice is heard on the recording saying, "Hey, help me, make sure the lid's on, and I'm sorry I got you messed up in this," according to the affidavit.
No.
Yep.
My God, that's embarrassing. I mean, can you imagine being locked up in jail? You're in your cell, your bunkie, your little bunkmate comes in and goes, "What are you in here for?" You go, "Murder." Now, listen, you're scoring a lot of points. Now you got the respect of the floor. The cell block is sitting there impressed. Then they're like, "How'd you get caught?" And just go, "I bent over and my phone automatically butt dialed somebody and left a voicemail while we were moving the body." You are the laughing stock of the cell block at this point. Embarrassing.
Yes.
How does something like that happen?
Both are currently being held in jail on $200,000 bond.
Any idea, or does the article state why he killed her? I know you said something about an argument, but did it go into any, like, were they related somehow? Like, why was
they were not related? They
40...
apparently were roommates. And Day said that he allegedly admitted that they had fought after she had filmed him acting irate, and when she threatened to call 911, he panicked and strangled her with his bare hands.
Jesus. Usually you don't threaten to call 911. You just call 911.
Right, and exactly.
And I speak from personal experience, people.
But it is a little weird, no offense. And I'm not saying she's deserved it, until I don't skew my words here. But you're telling me a 40-year-old stewardess is living with a 68-year-old man.
47 living with a 66-year-old man, yes. Listen, rent is not cheap these days, Brian. Sometimes you want to try and save money and invest. You know, I get where it's going.
All right. Okay. All right. What else do we got?
Let's see here. This was a throwback, and also I think one of the stranger stories we've read this year. You remember Oliver North and Fawn Hall from back in? I mean, that would be what, early 80s?
Wasn't that was 80? I think that was about 86 when the Iran Contra controversy exploded. Wasn't she Oliver North's secretary? And she was charged with sneaking government documents that were unfavorable to the Reagan administration in her pantyhose.
Is that who Fawn Hall was? Oh, you know what? I was mistaking her. I was like, wasn't she the woman on the monkey business boat with Gary Hart? But that was Donna
You are
Wright.
thinking of that's Goldie Hawn.
Well, anyway.
No, this is Fawn Hall was his secretary.
That's true. You are right.
She was so what has brought those two names out of the past? Well, that's not true. Oliver North has been quite popular over the past decade as a right-wing commentator.
Shockingly, 40 years after their involvement in the Iran-Contra affair, they have gotten married. Oliver North, aged 81. Oliver North is going on my 2026 death pool list right now because he's 81 years old.
Are you saying that he looks like he's going to die? I'm saying he's looking not bad for 81.
So he's 81.
You know, Ron, they say 81 is the new 30.
They do. They do say that. Fawn Hall, age 65. They were married in Arlington County, Virginia on August 27th. North, a retired Marine Corps lieutenant colonel, was a member of Ronald Reagan's National Security Council before getting involved in the Iran-Contra affair that you mentioned. And Fawn Hall was all the rage when she came out. She testified against him. She received immunity for that. But it does seem like they've managed to put that past behind them and get married. That's right. She married. Oh my God, I forgot that. She married Danny Sugarman, the manager of the Doors, back in '93, and they were married till he died in 2005.
So she's got some of that Doors money.
Yes. North apparently reconnected with Hall last December at the funeral for his wife of 56 years, according to one of his Spy Talk Substack page co-writers. Quote, she rekindled the relationship at the funeral. That feels a little problematic. And this is very telling. The North Hall wedding was described as, quote, low-key, and none of Oliver North's 4 children attended.
Oh, they must be very unhappy.
I mean, that's something.
They must be very unhappy with that.
It is something. What else do we have here?
Oof.
Let's take that photo down. You think Oliver North looks good in that photo?
For 81. Now I'm saying if you and I bumped into him at the bar at Peter Luger's, I would sit there and be like, "Ooh, that guy looks a little shaky." However, you're telling me that dude is 81. If I look that good at 81, I'll be very pleased.
All right. That's a fair statement.
However, this is my problem. This is where I would caution him. She's already snitched on him once. How can you sit there now and look at her as a woman that can be your confidant? As somebody who is recently wedded,
right,
Ron, you are about to hit what, 11 or 12?
It'll be 12 years this October.
You're about to hit 12. As people who understand the institution of marriage, we understand that the only way for it to be successful is to realize that this person is your partner and that you're their ride or die, that this is somebody that you can open up, be honest with, understand that your words stay within that sanctuary of a relationship, that this is not someone who's going to walk out of the room and immediately start texting their friends with a winky face saying, what a great trip I had. The girls were lovely. Let's do it. This is somebody, she's already snitched on him once. How can he trust her?
Listen, the heart wants what the heart wants.
All right. But it's also interesting. I think this is where the dick wants what the dick wants. Because the fact that his 4 children are rejecting this relationship, I think is very telling.
Yes. Brian, there's not a lot of information to this next story, but it's damn fascinating. This, Brian, is a baby chimp in a zoo in China. This is Ding Ding, the baby chimp. And the zoo in China has had to ban visitors from showing the baby chimp viral videos because he became obsessed and it could cause health problems.
What?
I don't know. Apparently, like he's in his holding pen, whatever that is, at the zoo, and he will come up to the glass enclosure, and for whatever reason, he became popular on social media because they'd go to the zoo, they would film their friends like holding their phones up to the glass enclosure, showing the chimp these viral videos, and he would watch them. And so apparently that could be potentially bad for a baby chimp's health.
Just from a socialization perspective?
I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really go into that. I mean, but if it's bad for a baby chimp, imagine what it's doing to us, Brian.
We've talked about it, ad nauseum about the damage it's done to your brain.
I mean, you continuously send me TikToks of well-endowed Asian women making sandwiches, and it's rotting my brain away little by little every day.
And yet you make references to the video that I know proves you watched at least half of it. Like when you sit there and comment, like she like the way she cut that avocado.
The knife skills are horrible in the videos. The knife skills are horrible.
But I know that means you at least watched the first minute of it, which is all I need for victory. Which is just all I need for victory. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Like, listen, if a woman wants to wear, wants to be scantily clad and go viral by making food,
sure,
at least make good food. Like the one you sent me the other day, this woman cut apart like this stale loaf of bread and put like a hunk of ham from the fridge in there and like a Kraft single on it, and then heated it in the oven and then put it together and took a bite of it. And I was just like, I can't with these videos anymore. Send me the breastfeeding videos again. Get back into that.
So that is the beautiful thing about the algorithm, is that it is like a wave where with forward progress. You can never go backwards. You can never go back. I refuse to go back. I was actually talking to somebody over the weekend who told me that they recently reset their Instagram algorithm.
Really?
And they were very proud of it because they were like, I found that we were talking about the Charlie Kirk video of when he was assassinated. And he was assassinated. I've checked the dictionary of the proper language.
You got it right.
He was assassinated. And they were talking about it, and he was saying how, he noticed that Instagram was showing him too many videos of people dying, and he's not interested in that. He doesn't want to watch that stuff. So he had reset his algorithm. And I was just stunned because I could not imagine starting from scratch.
No.
And having to fine tune.
There's been so much work that you've put into your algorithm.
Sure.
It's like working on a manuscript for 20 years. And you're just going to take that manuscript and you're going to throw it on the fire and not have a backup copy.
Of course. And the thing is the fact that what's popular now in 6 months, I will have moved on. Like now, it's a lot of people dying. Right now, it's a lot of car crashes, electrocutions. I sent Johanna a video earlier this week of a guy standing seemingly about 5 feet above the toilet and defecating, where it was
like watching as well.
It was like Rodney Dangerfield doing that high jump in Back to School,
doing the triple Lindy.
Just like doing the triple Lindy. But the fact is, this thing landed. It was like one of those 1930s high dive videos where like the elephant jumps into like the tiny tank from 80 feet in the air. I mean, this was wonderful. I have fine tuned this so much to what else could this algorithm offer me that I have not exposed myself to? And then it offers me something, and it's just immediately like, oh, I need to share this. Why? Because I know that subtly, and this is where I truly feel this is my way of expressing love, is
Right.
that I am sharing with people in the hopes that their algorithm will just slowly transfer closer towards mine. Like the true sign is like earlier today, your wife made a reference that a video that like I sent her was similar to one she had seen. And
Oh
I
yeah.
just sat there and I was like, this is beautiful. This is
Well, and
beautiful.
I
The
have to admit, like
algorithm is
you
starting
will
to sync.
send me, like I will open up TikTok and I will see that in the, let's say 20 to 30 minutes since I last opened TikTok, you will have sent me 20 or 25 TikToks. But the funny thing is, a solid half of them were already on my algorithm because you have perverted the algorithm so much.
We have synced
I have people that I used to enjoy watching on TikTok that don't even make it onto my FYP because of what you've done. Like every now and then, like Keith Lee will pop back up. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I used to like watching Keith Lee and him trying foods in different areas and ranking them. But no, I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna watch Brian's videos because that's all he does is send me videos. That's right. Brian's trying to sync algorithms like women sync up their cycles.
In all honesty, I'm not a great gift giver. I'm not going. I'm not going on Amazon or going to Macy's and buying you. This is the ultimate gift that I can give to my to,
oh, wait.
to
Janelle
those that are
saying
closest
you don't
to me.
you don't send her anything anymore. Janelle,
that is not
be
true.
Careful, be careful what you wish for, Janelle.
Janelle gets Yankee related stuff, and Janelle gets Corgi and other animal related stuff. Janelle, I have too much respect for to send her videos of somebody taking a poop from 5 feet above the toilet. People get like it's curated. Like my forwards are curated. Like there are different types of things that I send to different people. I have to understand. I also have to, I take into account what are the things that I know this person will enjoy. Like I think that if I sent Janelle a video of somebody pooping on the street and then standing up and getting run over by a car, I don't think she would enjoy that.
But I feel like half the stuff you send me, you don't send me things for me to enjoy them. You send me things to be disturbed by them. Yeah, exactly. Like Joanna said, what he sends me is horrifying. Count your blessings, Janelle. You don't realize what a favor Brian is doing for you, Janelle, by not including you in some of this distribution.
This is my love language, people. This is my love language.
Before we run out of time, let's visit a segment that we haven't gotten to in a few weeks, and that is, of course, but the drag queens are the problem. Of course, there's been so much talk about drag queens over the years and how they are grooming young children, they're assaulting young children. So let's see if we found any stories of drag queens impacting negatively the lives of young children. No, this is a school aide, Brian. This is a California school aide who pled guilty to having sex with a teen student. This is Lizette Ortega Velez, age 32. She pled guilty to unlawfully engaging in sexual intercourse and oral copulation with a 17-year-old at Mar Vista High School. It's kind of borderline. But I got to admit, if you are, let's not to stereotype, but we've got the nose piercing, and I believe is that a high cheek piercing as well.
But not only that, but the gigantic hoop earrings.
The hoop earrings, yes.
The hoop earrings, the gigantic hoop earrings. The larger the hoop earring, the crazier the woman. I don't make these rules, people.
Police were called into the Imperial Beach campus of Mar Vista back on May 19th when they received reports of a student support aide having a sexual relationship with an underage male student. Investigators launched a probe and uncovered that Ortega's romance with the minor had spanned a year during off-campus incidents, finding probable cause to charge the aide. Detectives alleged that Ortega tried to keep the student from telling anybody about the sexual assault. She was a contracted student support aide working through a third-party contractor. Back on May 22nd, she was arrested and charged with a slew of sex crimes related to her relationship with the minor. She is scheduled to be sentenced October 29th. She faces up to 5 years in state prison.
I'm going to just say that I hope she's learned her lesson and does not do that again. because I feel like this woman could be easily rehabilitated and become a productive, contributing member of our society.
All right. Well, let's look at this next one, Brian, because again, we've been doing this bit for so long. You have to imagine that eventually we are going to have to find a whatchamacallit, a person that is not that is a drag queen. I'm sorry.
Of course.
So, and this article, of course, does not want to pull up for me. Hold on one second while I try and find another.
Come on, you got it. You got it. You can do this. You can do this. No, nothing.
I'm getting there. I am getting there. All right. This is this is a judge, Brian. This is a Charleston County judge down in South Carolina by the name of James Benjamin Gosnell Jr., age 68. Sure. Now, if you recognize this name, Brian, it's not the first time that this judge has made the news. He made the news a few times. Apparently, he was a fan of using the N-word, so he made the news a few times for that. And what was the other one? Oh, the Dylan. Do you remember Dylan Roof?
Yeah, the kid that shut up the church.
Yes. So
the white kid that shut up the African American church.
He handled the bond hearing of Dylan Roof, and he was the one who basically, during the bond hearing, implicated that it may have been the victim's fault that they got shot by Dylan Roof. So kind of a shitty individual to begin with. And now he has been arrested and charged with possession of child sexual abuse material. He has since been suspended from the bench by the South Carolina Supreme Court. He appeared in federal court on Wednesday, was not granted bond. He will be held until a detention hearing scheduled later in the month. The case began with a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators traced payments made in November 2024 to Gosnell's phone number, email, and home address. A search of his home uncovered multiple videos and images of child sexual abuse, including materials involving infants and toddlers.
Oh, that ain't right.
No. Not that sexual abuse is ever right, but when you get into like toddlers and babies, like it feels like there is a level of depravity that you just sink to.
Why do you want to end the show on that note?
All right. Well, on a positive note, folks, if you can't get enough of Ron and Brian, go to cultofronandbrian.com. Join our Patreon. You have access to all of our history of After Dark.
Sure.
You can join After Dark live if you sponsor us at $10 a month or higher. Once a month, we have our pajama party where we have a trivia contest. Either can you beat Brian? Can you beat Ron? Brian, you had a fairly soul-crushing defeat this past month. You recovered well from it. You'll be back in a couple months. I'll be up the next time we have After Dark. But folks, it is worth putting the money in because we put the money back into this podcast. It is just our way of saying thank you for supporting us. We'll always give you this hour plus. We're going to do about an hour 10, hour 15 this week. That's free. That is on the house. That's gratis. Listen, if you want to Venmo us a tip, say, hey, great job. Here's a 5 spot. Buy yourself some coffee. That's an app, I think. I think our followers can actually buy us coffee. I digress. Really? Listen, if you've got some money burning a hole in your pocket, go to cultofronandbrian.myshopify.com. Buy some of our killer merch. Wear it. Get it out there and enjoy it. Brian, anything else before we wrap up this amazing episode of the Cult of Brian Brian?
I'm going to go to bed in about 20 minutes. I am going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to start my work week. And it is, I can't think of a better way to have spent a Sunday evening.
Will you be having explosive diarrhea in that 20-minute frame?
If I don't, I will not be going to bed because there is no this may be TMI, people. My lady only owns white sheets. There's no dark colors that are happening.
Use the guest use the guest bathroom.
Oh,
Light the incense.
That's the one I'm relegated to. I am only allowed to use that bathroom. So
you're an animal. I mean, I don't blame her.
I can't have an accident. I cannot have an accident in bed, so I will need to go to the bathroom before I go to bed.
All right. Fair enough. Well, everybody,
thank
you for joining us. We appreciate you watching the podcast, and we will catch you all next week.
Thank you for joining us for the latest episode of The Cult of Ron and Brian. A non-tax deductible contribution can be made by subscribing to our Patreon. Visit cultofronandbrian.com and click on Become a Patron. We'll see you again next week.